I really don't have that number.
ONG, bro.
Is that coming back?
We have a new single coming in June 27th. I'm excited about that one too.
And him how to be a professional. You think someone from Baltimore would get it too? I mean, Manny's done it before. I do it. Gavin's just a firm believer in. Don't show him that. Don't show him that. But Gavin's Gavin. So.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Marty Time TV. I am Marty Caswell. We are brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. And I am so delighted to be joined by our friend, Jake Ariani of local CBS Sports. I didn't see Jake at Petco Park yesterday. I'll be quizzing him on that shortly. What you guys heard was Jose Iglesias talking about, Mr. OMG himself, but he has a new single dropping June 27th. So make sure you write that down, Padres fans. I'm sure you guys will see it all over social media. And then there was Jackson Merrill, his first game back off the injured list after the 7-day concussion list, talking about his debate with Gavin Sheets. They have lockers right next to each other as to whether or not it's appropriate to tip your cap when you are robbed of a home run. Sheets says no, absolutely not. Jackson Merrill says it's okay. Jake, do you have an opinion? You want to go ahead and break the tie?
I think you got to tip the cap. Although I kind of love the bad attitude of Sheets. I'm in for let's not tip the cap. Yeah. I feel like the proper baseball fan in me is like, of course you tip the cap, do it, be a proper baseball player. But I think I'm here for Gavin Sheets. Like, nah. Don't do it. Don't reward him. That was a heck of a play by Caglione. I mean, that was something.
Was I mute this whole time? Oh my gosh.
No, well, I heard you fine. Were you mute?
Okay. I hope so because my microphone was showing mute. So I just want to make sure. Oh God.
I heard you, which is all that matters.
Well, I know, but if it's not recording, then that's not a good thing. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and pick up from there. All right, listen, it was a good weekend for the Padres. They took 2 out of 3, and it was a transactional weekend. The most important thing, at least for me, was they got Jackson Merrill back. You guys saw game 1 offensively and defensively how much of a game changer that he is. Jake, what to you? Jackson Merrill aside, what was the biggest thing that happened to the Padres, whether it's going to be the addition or even by subtraction, because we know the Padres made a flurry of roster moves. Jason Hayward has been DFA'd. Brandon Lockridge was sent down. Brian Hoeing is back on this roster. What to you, though, other than Jackson Merrill, was the biggest thing for the Padres this weekend?
I thought for sure the DFA of Jason Hayward. It's something you and I have discussed. It's something I've discussed for a long time with a lot of Padre fans. Mm-hmm. Couldn't like the guy more. I mean, just class act, everything about it. It just felt like the writing on the wall was that was coming. Yeah. And I feel bad for the person, Jason Hayward, but I think it was the right move for the Padres to do it. So I thought that was just big. That's the one that stood out most to me, aside from Jackson. And it was great to get Hoeing back. I think that the bullpen has kind of been hanging on a little bit, as good as they've been at the beginning of the year. Obviously, kind of grasping at straws recently, and so to have an arm like that get back in the bullpen was big. But yeah, I thought the one that I went stood out was Jason Hayward.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you, and it's going to be interesting. And the Padres' search for a left fielder continues. I think our Alvin Gonzalez of ESPN wrote today about AJ Preller's clear target. It's going to be left field, and he mentioned the three guys are on his radar: Jarren Duran of the Red Sox, Luis Robert Jr., and of course Taylor Ward, who's right up there, up the 5 freeway. Any of those guys jump out at you as far as a possible fit?
Luis does. I think. He struggled so much this year on the South Side that I'm hoping that the possibility of getting him for a little bit cheaper than what is expected. And look, Marty, we've seen Victor in this organization do wonders for guys like that, where Gavin Sheets, case in point, right? A struggling team, bring them in, fix them up, and make them successful. And I think Luis Robert, all the potential, the eye test, all the potential in the world for that guy is right there. I think if they get him in this organization, he would be a huge fit. Yeah. And by the way, I'm just saying this because we've talked about it. Gavin Sheets is playing decent left field.
Oh, don't. Wasn't there a conversation a couple weeks ago? You need to save this guy Save him from himself. He's not a true left fielder. I mean, you're gonna listen. I guarantee you, in a one-run ball game against a good team, you are bringing in someone else to play left field. Like you'd rather have Tyler Wade in left than you would Gavin Sheets. The guy's a DH.
100% agree. But you can't tell me he hasn't improved, at least out there.
No, he has improved. He has improved. But man, these games, crunch time, it's always about pitching and defense. I do not want to see any part of Gavin Sheets in left field. Do you want him in left field, Dodger Stadium, game that matters?
I want him in the lineup. That's what I would answer to that.
By the way, and I would agree with you. This is something that I think Tatis said, a couple of weeks ago, actually, when Gavin Sheets really started making a name for himself, was bring in all the guys, bring in everyone from the South Side, right? Bring in all the former White Sox players, starting with Tatis, Gavin Sheets, Dylan Cease, bring them all to San Diego. I'm sure it's the last thing that the White Sox fans want to hear. But hey, man, so far they've been a great farm system for the Padres.
Let me throw that question back at you. I mean, who do you think is the best fit out there in left? Because to me, it's been Luis more than like Jarren Duran. And I think Jarren's great and all that. I don't see that happening, first of all. But I just think Luis is the appropriate fit for trying to buy low and get a guy you can turn around. Do you feel that same way, or who do you feel is the best option? I
do too. I think Taylor Ward would be interesting, especially to see what the Angels might be doing. I mean, I just can't imagine right now that they're gonna be. I don't know how many times you can keep selling them that team, but I don't see anything else they can do. And by the way, Ron Washington, indefinite leave because of medical reasons. So hopefully all the best to Ron Washington. All right. This series is going to torment Padres fans. We're talking about the need for a left fielder, right? James Wood has 22 home runs, 21. James Wood has 22 home runs for the Washington Nationals. He's going to the All-Star game. He is actually right behind Tatis, the updated All-Star voting. He is 9th. Tatis is 8th. This kid, this is the one that hurt, right? CJ Abrams, he's having another All-Star season. Mackenzie Gore, who I believe the Padres will pitch on Wednesday, that he would have been absolute ace material for the Padres. But James Wood, I think, is the one player that's going to hurt Padres fans more than anything, whether they sweep this series or get swept or win or lose a series. James Wood, man, is that dude. Can you imagine being a Padre fan watching this kid?
You look at the
next 3 games.
You look at the full situation of where the Padres are right now, and you go, who would work out really well in left field right now? A guy like James Wood would be great. But with that being said, you and I have mentioned it before. I think the deal was the right move at the time, but you are right. Yeah. This is going to be torture. I think last I checked, Mackenzie Gore led the league in strikeouts. He's been unbelievable. Padres need left-handed pitching. James obviously is a dude that you're just scraping the surface on. I mean, the guy's going to be so good. And CJ's been fantastic. So, yeah, it's tough. I think 2 things can be true, Marty, and I think people need to remember that the deal was the right move at the time. The Padres were going for it. They did everything they needed to do. And at the same time, these guys are going to be studs, and you're going to watch them for a long time as Padre fans and go, man, that's tough to have let those guys go. But I think both things are true. I think it was the right move, and I think it's going to be torture to watch them.
It's like last year we're talking about the Padres winning the Juan Soto trade, the second one with the Yankees, because they got that Michael King. The Padres are not in the playoffs again last season with that Michael King, who was an absolute stud. We caught him on Friday night in postgame, talking. It was the second time he's spoken to the media about his injury, right? Because Mike Schultz has finally said, listen, he's going to be out at least until the All-Star break. So a little bit later in today's show, guys, I will go ahead and play back what Michael King had to say about his injury. And I know he said clown question, bro, when I asked him the first time, are you sure you're going to pitch again this season? And I'm still skeptical. I want the best for Michael King, by the way. He's going to be probably the most highly sought after free agent on the market come this offseason, because he is expected to decline the mutual option that he has with the Padres. The guy, he's going to get paid, right? But he said, I am confident I'm going to pitch again this season. It wasn't quite the same body language that I heard from him the first time he spoke. So it's going to be a wait and see in Michael King. And that's just like a double whammy, right, for the Padres, because you can look at the Juan Soto trade and say, listen, they got Michael King, and then maybe you get 2 postseasons, in return. But when you don't have Michael King now, the deadline's just over a month from now, man. That just magnifies what the Padres gave up in that deal.
Yeah, and I think Michael's been surprised by how this whole process has been. To me, and by the way, your question is famous now because people keep asking him about it, but I think he's been surprised. I think he definitely thought when it first happened that he would be back no problem, And then all of a sudden he's going, this is taking longer than I thought. And
Yeah.
I've reiterated it a bunch. It's just a scary situation when you go, oh, we don't know a timetable. It's a rest and wait thing. Those rest and wait things
I know.
never seem to work out. Now, to kind of bridge onto our conversation, I think what's been impressive for this team is the Ryan Burgerts. And I thought Randy's a tough watch at times, but man, he's gotten the job done. Like yesterday I was, pulling my hair out watching him, but yet he gets through a great game and a game they end up winning. So for the team to be able to find the Burgerts in the Vasquez's and use them until they're getting to where they're going, I thought has been huge. So I do want to give the credit where credit's due in that situation.
I know that tomorrow, AJ Caswell is looking forward to taking a lap because he said last week, man, he wanted to see a lot more of Trenton Brooks. And so we'll see what happens. It's really interesting, right? The moves the Padres did make. Hayward DFA'd, Lockridge, he's had his chance. He's been optioned, but they want to give this kid a chance and see what he can do. He has some pop.
He does, and it's fun. You always love the hometown Alpine, the hero story, and I think to get another left-handed bat in there, Marty, that can hit the ball out of the ball. What are you?
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sign. You're absolutely right. I'm having flashbacks because I think that there was a time when Padres fans had absolutely nothing to cheer for. And so you held on to the Nick Vincents from Ramona. You wanted your hometown guys. That's all you had. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sigh out loud. I've been told that I do that a lot. I thought I was keeping my thoughts in my head. I apologize for sighing out loud. That's a great story. Go on with Alpine. Let's go.
I think I bring out the best in you because I just reiterate things that you love to hear. Trent's awesome. Look, take away the hometown hero. I won't torture you with that. Let's just give credit in a sense of a left-handed bat that can be useful in the lineup. They've done a good job, Marty, this year of finding players nobody thought about. Again, I go back to Trenton Brooks. I mean, honestly, they've done a successful job of that year. Do you not believe that?
I do. I'm sorry. I'm again, terrible poker face. No, they have. They have, but part of me is like, when is it going to fall apart? It's been good, but you have to go ahead. You have to go ahead and do more. We have not seen, I'm sure the draft is coming up soon. I think they just had the MLB combine. The draft combine was last week. So AJ Preller has been busy. We don't normally see him this time of year, but I hope he does. I hope he is around Petco Park soon. I hope that ownership group is around soon because I have so many questions about this team, right? About their window and going for it in payroll. We can talk about giving credits at, finding the Trenton Brooks, but if you're a Padres fan, man, you expect more you have to expect more than this. I mean, this is what we're doing. The fact that we spent so much time talking about Jason Hayward, right? And Gurriel and Connor Joe, it's because the Padres, they couldn't find a left fielder. They couldn't pay anybody this offseason. It's a little bit aggravating. I get what you're saying, that it is a good thing that they're finding some of these guys, some pitchers in the organization, but the depth when it comes to position players, man, that to me is the concerning part.
So let me ask you this, because I hear this argument a ton from Padre fans. I do. They go, we have to do something, I think people want the moon in the sky when they talk about AJ Preller making a move. And I just don't think it's as easy as people are making it sound to be like, oh, we just got to get this all-star left fielder. We're going to plug in there. We're going to get another arm. Michael King will be back. This is Major League Baseball. It's difficult to pull off this stuff and to make these moves. I think, and look, Mike Schilt talked about this a ton, Marty. You've heard it a million times. He goes, we're winning on the margins, right? And the Padres have lost on the margins a lot too recently. It's been that fine. But the margins are the Ryan Burgerts and the Trenton Brooks. And so I think this idea of, oh, we just need to go out and plug in this all-star left fielder and go get this arm is harder than it seems. Is that not true?
It's completely true. And it's never that easy, especially when you have so many teams who are also organizations who are thinking, you know what, maybe we're a player away. There's a lot of teams that don't know if they're going to be buyers or sellers yet. There's a lot of teams that are right in the mix for the final wild card spot. So that does make it difficult. Okay. Something that happened yesterday, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and play this little clip to you from Mike Schilt, and that would be Jackson Merrill batting second, right? For only the second time in his career. Luis Arias was dropped to cleanup, and we didn't get a chance to really ask him about that yesterday. Listen, he's a really good team player. He says the right thing. That guy is Mr. Positive, always has a smile on his face, but this is the guy that wanted to bat leadoff. So we'll see what he says. But this is what Mike Schilt had to say yesterday about Jackson Merrill in the leadoff role.
What do you like about connecting him and Tatis to top the order and then the decision to put Arias fourth?
Something I was mulling over before Jackson got the concussion. Good news is we have interchangeable parts. I like a pretty fixed lineup. Starting to look at it a little bit more. Both of them obviously contributed. Jackson leads off the 2-run inning. Louis leads off and scores a winning run. There's pros and cons to both sides, but mostly pros to both sides. But having some real, right-handed and left-handed. Louis is a presence wherever you put him. He's a quality bat. He's a pro, and he's clearly a 3-time batting champion. But he also knows how to drive in runs and just frees up a little bit of the top for Jackson and Toddy to go ball out, and have Louis sitting there to be able to use his magic wand.
You like it?
I thought it was interesting, and it was funny. Yesterday watching the game, I thought about this, Marty, the development of lineups over the course of the last decade in Major League Baseball, where people have played around with lineups a lot. And I think every baseball fan for 100 years thinks the 4 spot has been, let's put this power bat in there.
Yep.
Let's get the big bopper in there. And
it's the cleanup spot. I mean,
literally, it's called the cleanup spot, right? But I kind of like the idea. I don't know. I'm still open to hearing arguments about it, but I kind of like the idea of a guy that just drives and runs more than, hey, let's get your best contact bat up with runners on, opposed to a guy that maybe strikes out a little more but can hit the ball out of the ball yard. I'm interested to see if he continues with it. I texted a bunch of buddies yesterday. I go, it's a weird lineup, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know exactly what to think about. I want to see it a little more, but I definitely wasn't like, oh, this is weird, like bad. I thought it was fun to try out. I don't know. What were your thoughts on it?
I like it. I mean, you put one of your best hitters, you see more of him more often. So I like it. We'll see what happens. It's funny because Mike Schultz has been such a stickler for the exact same lineup, at least 1 through 4. I mean, he's tinkered a lot. The bottom of the order, you have to, because there is no fix. And that's still an absolute mess. But yeah, that's been interesting. So we'll see. I think he did say they've been thinking about it before he went on IL. So right now, it wouldn't be surprised if we see that for quite some time.
Yeah, it's something we've talked about before, where he's loyal. He's never going to make a move too soon. It's always going to be
too late.
Wait. And so the fact that he did it though is telling, right? I mean, it means he knows that they had to switch something up, and I like it.
Okay, and we should mention this. We spent so much time criticizing Xander Bogaerts. He has been sizzling hot. Whatever it's working for Xander Bogaerts, whatever routine, man, good for him, because the work ethic is there. And one thing that should be pointed out, man, his defense at shortstop has been solid, absolutely solid. A lot of times when your offense suffers, the defense can go, but Xander Bogaerts, as you all know, as you know well, Jake, he works his butt off. So I'm happy for him personally that he is starting to hit a little bit. That's a good thing for the Padres.
So happy for him. Happy for him. And honestly, when you talk about a baseball perspective, if he is this player, if we get that player, it changes the whole lineup. I mean, huge. So if he can continue to do what he's doing, that would be awesome. And a great point you made about his defense has been unbelievable. That play yesterday up the middle and the throw, you're just like, where is it? Reel it back 10 years. So I'm very happy for him. I really, really, really hope it continues.
All right, Padres fans, like I told you, we were going to hear from what Michael King had to say about where he is in his recovery, why his injury is so historic. As Mike Schultz had said, no baseball players ever had this injury. I asked Michael King to explain what on earth Mike Schultz is talking about, which he did. Before we let you go, though, Jake, what do you think? Pac-12 has signed a deal with CBS Sports. How big a deal is that, man, for the conference? You have to have a TV home, finally.
Yeah, it's good because it's what killed the conference. You had to have – the reason the Pac-12 fell apart is because of the lack of TV deal and really the mishandling of the conference. It was just completely botched. And it's a shame because it was a great conference and they let it fall apart, and rightfully so. A lot of teams panicked and left and went to different conferences. I still, if I'm being honest, I'm going to see how it develops. Feels like a facade, though. I'm interested to see how they play out, and it's cool that it's on a TV network, but you just feel like you stuck the Pac-12 name in front of a bunch of teams that aren't
totally
Pac-12.
Totally makeshift. Maybe you can figure out a way to get some of them back, but we'll see. But I agree with you.
And I think a lot of people don't want to say it, but I'm happy to say it. that it just feels like, a facade. So we'll see. Hopefully it's better than I expect.
Okay, you're leading me to my final question. Speaking of a facade, people like talking about this. I did see you. You were up somewhere in Los Angeles covering those Chargers, right? Did you interview Jim Harbaugh? What's going on with you? Listen, I realize that CBS is forcing us to watch the Chargers. They won't give us the best games, whatever. I realize there are fans that still love them. There are people that hate them. There are fans that have given up on the NFL since they left, and I don't blame them. But what's the coverage like? And what's the role of local CBS covering that team for the season?
It's an incredibly hot topic. I get hate mail for it every single day. But the reality of the situation is people are still watching one way or another. I mean, one way or another. We have numbers that track this stuff, obviously, in television, and the Chargers get monster numbers still. And say what you want about it. I completely understand the climate we're living in and what happened. And look, they broke my heart. I was a diehard Charger fan. You and I, both, all of us, diehard Charger fans. They left. It is the reality of the situation. We happen to work in a business where views equals money.
Yep.
We get a lot of views still. They are telling the story, the viewers, not us. And so we're CBS. We carry the NFL. We carry a team that people watch. And that's the reality of the situation. Jim Harbaugh is obviously a
character.
San Diego character and
man,
adds views, but that's the best way I can explain it without firing up too many people, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, if people want to send you some of your hate tweets, you can find him on the Twitter at Jake Garriani. I'll put that link out there. Hey, Jake, thanks for your time. Before I say goodbye to you, I do want to say this. Yesterday was a little bit of a heavy day for me walking in that press box because right when I walked in, oh man, there were some flowers the Padres put out there in the front row of the press box for Scott Miller formerly of CBS, who passed away a few days ago. He had fought against cancer. If you were in this business, you loved Scott Miller, just such an incredible gentleman, incredible friend to all of us, man, just so gracious. And it kind of hit me. It just hit me because I had seen him, I knew he was fighting this. And I remember when he had the chemo, right? The hair was gone. He would wear a nice stylish hat because Scott Miller, he doesn't have the stereotype of a sports reporter. He's always fashionable. But when I saw him, this season, I was so encouraged and optimistic because he looked great and the hair was growing back in. I'd compliment him on how good his beautiful silver hair looks. So I'm really going to miss him. Just an absolute blow. We lost Bryce Miller of the UT earlier this season to cancer, and now to Scott Miller. Man, I want to make sure that I recognized him because he was a good man, and we need more people like that in this business. So.
Yeah, and I didn't get to know Scott the way that a lot of people did. But what's amazing to me, every single person I've ever heard talk about him has nothing but amazing, amazing things to say. Every player I've heard talk about him respected him at the highest of level, which is hard to do in this organization.
Yes.
And I just, it's tough. We all go through a lot of traumatic things in our life. Me personally, over the last few years as well, losing my brother. And it's like, this world is tricky. And the more amazing people we have in it, like I've heard Scott has described, the better it is. And we need to appreciate those people. You're one of them. I mean, like, honestly, it's just keep the good people close. That's for sure. And I wish I could have an amazing, great story to talk personally. Didn't get to know him that way, but the greatest sign of respect is what other people talk about you. And I've just heard nothing but unbelievable things.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. Jake, you're the best, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Don't forget, you angry fans. You can send your anti-Charger stuff to at Jake Garriani. I will make sure he gets your tweets and threads and all that fun stuff. Thanks, Jake. I will see you. I'll see you in Petco Park soon, I hope.
You won't be alone with the hate mail, and I will see you there soon. I'll actually be there tonight as a fan, which is a rare one, and then I'll be there Wednesday too. So much love, Marty, as always, and keep doing your thing.
You're the man. Thank you. Thanks, Jake. All right, that was Jake Garriani of local CBS Sports. That was tough, man. Yesterday, I mean, I saw the news on Scott Miller, but when I walked into the press box and I just saw the flowers at his spot in the press box, that was tough. I thought he's so optimistic. I thought he had it beat. All right, guys. To go ahead and end today's show, I'm going to go ahead and play back this conversation with, speaking of optimistic, Michael King, who was in the Padres post-game area, so we cornered him in his locker to ask him the latest on his right shoulder. This is Michael King.
The question if I would pitch by the end of the year, and I said, yeah, I would definitely still laugh at you. It wasn't specifically at you, but it was. No, I mean, yeah, everybody says with nerves, it's a time thing. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get it going, and I know that everybody tells me that it will come back quickly, and I'm just in that lull right now where I'm just trying to keep the body going and be ready to go as soon as I can.
What is the plan of action for you? So you've got a plan to get it going. What are you doing now?
I mean, a lot of that's just in terms of like strengthening the shoulder. We still are using, like I would say, throwing a few times. Throwing is like an exercise right now. It's not like there's a progression that's in place. But throwing is a natural movement for me, and I know exactly how my arm should be feeling when I'm at full strength and full range of motion. So it's a good way for me to get feedback. So I've stayed at 30 throws at 60 feet just to feel that and make sure that all those things are in line.
What has the fact finding been like for you? Have you traveled to figure out?
Oh yeah. I've talked to people all over the country. Traveled from coast to coast. Scott Hacker, RPT, is a freaking warrior, and yeah, we're learning things about the nervous system. At least I am, that I never thought I would learn about. But obviously, not leaving any stone unturned. And yeah, it's just a rehab process, just a grueling process, you know.
Mike said so many times it's a historical injury without really getting into what it is. I mean, why? Can you explain that just a bit more? What he is talking about and why you're so confident that you are going to pitch again this year?
Yeah. Well, I'll handle the second part of that easier.
Okay.
If you look at other nerve injuries, one of the guys that I actually had Hacker RPT reach out to the Tigers PT because Parker Meadows had the nerve issue in it with his bicep. And based on my progress in, what's it been, 3.5 weeks? Based on my progress in the 3.5 weeks, the Tigers PT was like, oh my God, that's night and day. Like, he's so much more advanced than where Parker was at this stage, which gives me confidence. It was not the same nerve. You would have to fact check what his nerve was. Mine's a long thoracic nerve. And so if you look up like any long thoracic nerve injuries in baseball, there are none. There are a ton in other overhead athletes. And so we're just in that like discovery phase of what helped them get back, but obviously they're not throwing baseballs like I am. Seen it in softball, seen it in swimming, volleyball, and so it's tennis. So it's like those types of injuries that we're trying to fall back on. I mean, we're using it kind of as an exercise. So that's the main thing of, it's just a natural feel for me. What I keep saying is I don't feel like I'm moving the exact same I was before. And I think that's just a strength thing. And so I feel like once I get my strength to a certain level, then throwing would be easy. Back to normal.
Do you have any idea when the next step is, or is that the
Fortunately not. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. And I've had days where I've been really, really frustrated with it and been really sore and felt like I didn't get much activity that day, and then wake up the next day and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I could pitch in a game right now. So it's taking it step by step and knowing that it can fire when it fires, but obviously it's an annoying process. I got a ton of confidence that what we're doing is the correct thing to do, and I've felt my body progress in great ways, so I'm very confident that I will pitch by the end of the year.
How many cities have you been to since this was?
Oh, we'll keep that in my delta miles.
Mike, I just ask you, how are you handling it mentally?
It was tough originally, and it's more so the unknown, like you were talking about. It's like if you have a standard injury, you know, like this is the throwing program, this is the strength thing you have to do. But I asked Hacker, and he said he would actually rather work with somebody that has these weird injuries, just because it tests his abilities, you know, and he's learning stuff that he didn't know before. And I think that he'll be very well versed in this in a couple months. So we're yeah, it's annoying, but I'm now I got that positive outlook now.
Thank you.
It's been a rough couple weeks, or a rough couple months, but this group grinded out, and we keep continuing to grind. So continue doing that, and playing the baseball the way we're capable of playing.
Bringing the same energy, trying to play our best game every single day, and a day at a time.
Test coming back clean. I'm not really concerned with where the nerves are right now.
So you fully expect to pitch again?
Oh wait, oh god, yeah. Clown question, bro.